You ever get that feeling in your gut that someone's feeding you a line of bull, but you can't quite put your finger on it? You know, that little voice screaming, "This guy's a phony," but you ignore it. Let me tell you something, that gut feeling, it's usually right. But what if you could turn that gut feeling into a superpower? What if you could walk into any room, look at any person, and know exactly what they're thinking, what they're hiding? Not just the lies, but their real intentions. Forget all that body language nonsense you see on TV. If they touch their nose, they're lying garbage. That stuff's for amateurs. I'm talking about a deeper level of understanding. The kind that lets you see the game before it's even played. My whole life, I've had to read people. Not in a cozy office with a notepad, but on the street, where a wrong read could cost you everything. And I learned that most people are walking, talking billboards, advertising their every thought and intention, and they don't even know it. They think they're playing chess, but they're showing you their whole hand before they even make a move. The trick isn't about spotting a single lie, it's about seeing the entire picture, the patterns, the cracks in their story that they desperately try to patch up. It's about knowing the difference between what they say and what they mean. Let's break it down. The first thing you gotta understand is that everyone has a baseline. Think of it like their default setting. How do they normally talk? How do they normally sit? What's their usual vibe? You can't spot what's weird if you don't know what's normal for them. So, the next time you're just having a normal chat with someone, pay attention. Don't just listen to their words, watch them. Are they usually fidgety? Or are they usually calm? File that away. This is your foundation. Without this, you're just guessing. Most people skip this step, they jump straight to looking for a tell, and that's why they get it wrong. They see someone tapping their foot and immediately think, aha, nervous, lying. But what if that guy always taps his foot? You see, you're starting with bad intel. Now, once you have their baseline, you start looking for deviations, shifts. Let's say you're talking business with a guy, everything's cool, and then you bring up the payment schedule. Suddenly, his tone changes. It gets a little higher. He starts clearing his throat, maybe breaks eye contact for just a second too long. That's a hot spot. That's a deviation from his baseline. It doesn't automatically mean he's lying. It just means that topic, right there, is causing him stress. It's a flashing red light. Now, your job is to figure out why. Is he stressed because he can't pay? Is he stressed because he's planning to screw you over? This is where the real work begins. Don't just jump to conclusions. You gotta poke at it. Ask another, related question. So, about the upfront deposit, is that gonna be a wire transfer or? Watch his reaction again. See if the stress level goes up or down. You're a detective, gathering clues. And here's a big one, listen to the story they're telling. Liars often have a perfectly rehearsed story. It's clean, it's chronological, it has no mess. Real memories are messy. If you ask a guy what he did last Tuesday, and he gives you a perfect minute-by-minute rundown, that's a red flag. Real people forget details. They say, Tuesday, let me think, oh yeah, I went to the gym in the morning, then wait, no, that was Monday. Tuesday, I had that meeting with Tony, then I grabbed a sandwich. I think it was turkey. See the difference? It's messy. It's real. A liar's story is a smooth. Ask them to tell their story backwards. A liar's brain will short-circuit. They memorize the script one way, and you just ask them to play it in reverse. They'll stumble, they'll get confused, because they're trying to access a manufactured file, not a real memory. If you're finding this useful, and you want to learn how to not just read people but also get what you want, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. We're building an army of people who refuse to be played, and you look like you belong. We're just scratching the surface here. Now, let's talk about the words they use. People who are being deceptive tend to distance themselves from the situation. They'll use vague language. Instead of saying I didn't take the money, they might say that money was not taken by me. Or they'll just avoid I altogether. The car was crashed instead of I crashed the car. It's a subtle psychological trick they play on themselves to reduce guilt, but for you, it's a huge tell. They're removing themselves from the action. Also, watch out for people who give you way too much detail about stuff that doesn't matter. It's a diversion. They're trying to bury the lie under a mountain of useless information, hoping you get so bored and confused that you just give up and believe them. Another golden nugget for you: a person's real intentions are usually hidden in their complaints. Listen to what people complain about. When your partner complains, "You never spend any time with me anymore," they're not just stating a fact. Their intention is to get more of your attention. When your employee complains about his old computer being slow, his intention isn't just to get a new computer, it's to be more productive or feel more valued. People rarely state their true intentions directly. They package them as problems or complaints. Your job is to unwrap that package and see what's really inside. Once you understand the hidden intention, you have all the power. You can decide whether to give them what they want or use that information to your advantage. Think about it like this: every interaction is a negotiation. Not just for money, but for respect, for time, for control. And in any negotiation, the person with the most information wins. When you can read the other person's true intentions, you're not just playing the game anymore. You're the one dealing the cards. You know what they want, you know what they fear, and you know what they're willing to trade. This isn't about being paranoid or mistrusting everyone. It's about being smart. It's about protecting yourself and your interests. The world is full of sheep, and it's full of wolves. This is how you make sure you're not on the menu. Let's tie it all together with a simple rule, the rule of 3. Never, ever make a judgment based on one single sign. That's for clowns. One crossed arm, one weird look, one slip of the tongue. It means nothing on its own. The guy could just be cold, or have something in his eye. You need to look for a cluster of 3 or more signs all pointing in the same direction. A change in his baseline, some weird, distancing language, and a story that's a little too perfect. Boom. Now we're talking. Now you have a reason to be suspicious. Now you can start applying pressure, asking the right questions to confirm what your gut is telling you. It's a skill. Like any other skill, you gotta practice. Start with low-stakes situations. Try it on the barista at the coffee shop. Try it on your cousin who always has some new story. Watch talk shows, watch interviews with politicians. Don't listen to the words. Watch the game. See the patterns. The more you do it, the more it becomes second nature. It'll get to a point where you won't even have to think about it. You'll just know. You'll feel the lie. You'll see the intention clear as day. And that, my friend, is a level of freedom and power most people will never experience. You'll stop being a passenger in your own life and start being the driver. Look, you can keep going through life guessing, hoping people are telling you the truth, getting played, and wondering why you're not getting ahead. Or you can start learning the code. The Vory code. The code that separates the players from the pieces on the board. You've already made it this far into the video, which tells me you're not average. You're hungry for something more. So, don't just watch this video and forget about it. Go back and watch it again. Take notes. Start practicing tonight. And if you want to keep learning the real rules of the game, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because what we've talked about today is just the appetizer. The main course is coming. Stick around. You won't regret it.